My name is Leslie Wagandaria, and I'm currently based in Denver, Colorado, United States. So, for about 7 years, I saw what Tim talks about, which is you're living in your true identity, your future self, right? I've seen her. I know her. She is me, right? And I didn't know how to embody her. I've been visualizing her every single day, doing this very powerful visualization, and I would see glimpses of her and I would be in her. Well, about 4 years into my personal growth and development, I embodied her and I was her, and I was like, ooh, right? Like, just so excited, right? I was there. And then I went through a major health challenge that it did. I was on my deathbed. And so everything that I had learned and grown in, I tell people, it was almost like it had been all my knowledge and the power and the I am, what I call the I am, was like encapsulated, and it was hidden again. And I was so mad. I just had this anger inside of me because I knew that I could be there, but I didn't know how to be there. So as I started to heal my mind and my body, I said, it's time. It's time for me to do something more, something next level. And so I came to WCA because I knew that Tim and the way that he is was going to enable me to get back to that I am, right? And so there's one exercise that he did that literally blew my mind, and it was that visualization. But rather than me being in my mind and doing it, it was live and in your face and doing it, and in front of people. So it shook the core of me and enabled me to not just be in the mind, but be in the body and in the spirit, fully that. And I know everybody got to feel that, right? And I fully got to stand in me. I don't know if that makes sense, but in that moment, I was me, fully me. And I was like, right, like, yeah. What surprised me the most was that Tim talks about, knowledge is not power. It's that applied knowledge, right? And so even though I've learned all this stuff and I know all this stuff, when I came here, because of where I've been in this health challenge and everything, I came here and I'm like a little baby getting to re-experience and to learn again. And so what surprised me the most was how fucking scared, I'm so sorry, how scared I was to do some of the challenges. I've been doing this for a long time. And so the first time he's like, who wants to volunteer? And who wants to do this first challenge? I'm like, Leslie does. So I get up there, first challenge, like one of the first people to get up. And he's talking to me, telling me what to do. And I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. There's so much adrenaline in my body. I'm like, system shut down. And so I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. He's like, does that make sense? And I'm like, no, legit. And he looked at me, he's like, no. And I'm like, no, I literally did not hear one word you just said. And then he had to explain it to me 2 times again, because it just wasn't computing. And then when I stepped into the challenge, the surprise was that even though I've done this stuff before, it was still so scary to do that in front of a new group of people, new souls, new body of people, and in front of Tim, right, who I look up to, and he's just an amazing person. So I was like, yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah. So breakthrough was realizing that even when my body is going through her challenges, that I still am fully that I am, right? I am my true north. I am my future self. Just because these circumstances are happening and in those moments it is consuming me, it does. It's really intense. I can still recall, and something that I do is I send myself a voice message and I record it of an experience that impacted me, that helped me, so I can re-listen to that later. So I did that. So yesterday, the day after my breakthrough, I was having a very big challenge. And so I listened to myself, talked to myself, and I said, do you remember this moment that just happened last night? And I was like, ooh, yes, okay. So I sat back in the meditation, and because I've experienced it live now, it's live. It ain't in my mind, right? It's live. So I put myself back in that room, and I stood in front of my mirror at my hotel, and I screamed and did it again, embodied everything. And I was like, psh, what? I am, right? So when people say they're 50-50, they're not, right? So you already know what the true answer is. And if you're feeling even 1% of resistance to coming, that means you have got to come, right? Because that means that your breakthrough is here. And this is my view, this is my perspective. God in the universe is saying, this is on your road, right? This is your journey. This is the train track that's going to lead you to the right direction. So it's like, listen, get on this train because we going. So resistance means go.